Good evening. I'm Grandpa Gerber, and I'm glad you're here. This is a recap on a video I did a couple of days ago where I shared my story with you and the struggles I went through regarding my health and the journey that I'm currently on. I wanted to start tonight by asking you a question and something for you to think about and ponder as we continue with these videos. What is the one thing that you would change about your health if you could do it right now? Okay, you don't have to answer it right now, but think about it and ask yourself, well, what would be the one thing that I would change? Well, I could tell you what my answer was, and that was I wanted to change the numbers that I saw on the blood work that came back. They were scary. I didn't like them. Some of you have those same types of numbers, or maybe they're worse. But the things that I wanted to change was that I no longer wanted to be pre-diabetic. I no longer wanted to have high cholesterol. I did not want to have high triglycerides. I did not want to have stubborn body fat or a fatty liver or be exhausted and always feeling like I have to take a nap. I didn't want to walk around in a fog and not be productive in my life, on my job, in my relationships. Those were things that I could definitely point to and say, if I could change those things, that is what I would do. And thankfully, I found something that would help me start to change those things. And I started that journey back on February 15th of this year, just a few short days ago, actually. Maybe 50 some odd days ago, I started this journey, and I have had tremendous results. And I'm going to share with you how I got to that point. One thing that I would like to bring up, though, is that during this process, you may be skeptical, and I admire that because I was also skeptical, and I welcome that. I would like you to do that. I want you to do your own research. I want you to look and see, is this guy for real? Could this actually work for me? I believe it can. Okay, but there was a quote, and I want to make sure I got it right, so I wrote it down. There was a quote by Henry Ford. He says, "If you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always got." And isn't that true? Think about that quote. If you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always got. You know, we have settled in this country for a certain level of health. We have heard the people say, the doctors and the dietitians and all the other people, even our family members, say, well, that can't be changed. That's just a part of getting old. You're just going to have to go on meds. And you know what? That's depressing. That causes anxiety. And for some people, it's a death sentence. Now, we all have an expiration date. That goes without saying. I don't think any of us would contest that. But why do we have to suffer up to the very last minute? And I don't think we do. But are you willing to change the things that you're doing now so you can learn to do the things that will make a better version of yourself? We should not settle for just what someone says and what they say is just going to happen. But instead, we should fight back. And what I mean by fight back is you have to take up your own flag and you've got to plant it and say, I am not going any farther until I can exhaust every resource within my power to change where I am and what I'm doing in my health. And that is my encouragement to you this evening, is put aside the things that you think you know and that you have been taught, and be open to something new. All those things that I mentioned in the beginning, the pre-diabetes, the fatty liver, the high cholesterol, all of those things are symptoms. They're not a disease, but they're symptoms. Now, as a disclaimer, I'm not a doctor. I don't play one on TikTok or anywhere else. Now, I've put a few Band-Aids on my kids, and when I was in the military, I did a little patching up. But here I'm not a doctor. But you know what? I can read, and I can research, and I have done so. And one thing my college education taught me was that you need to do your research. You need to cite your sources. You need to find the primary sources, the secondary sources, and be able to identify those so you can intelligently deliver your message and it would be correct. I encourage you to do the same thing. And you know what? You don't need a college degree or anything fancy to figure this out. Our bodies all basically work the same. Now, yeah, we all our bodies will, they will react differently sometimes to certain treatments, but we're all humans. We all have the same type of physiology that reacts to certain things. Now, all of those symptoms I was telling you about come from basically one culprit, and that is insulin resistance. Now, that is a trigger word for some people. And they say, well, yeah, that's why I've got diabetes, that's why I've got this, that's why I've got that, and I'll never get beyond it because the doctor said I'm insulin resistant and I have to take shots. But what kind of shots are you taking? You're taking shots of insulin. So you're flooding your system with something that you're already resistant to. I'm just saying, we need to start putting two to two together and figure out what can we do to reverse these processes. And there is a way to do that. In the videos to follow, we're going to start, and I'm going to show you what I did to reverse my insulin resistance, because it existed. It existed, and I'm still pushing back on it. But now, because of the things I'm doing, I'm winning, and that's a good feeling. I'm losing weight. I'm losing inches. My cholesterol is normal. My triglycerides are normal. I'm getting rid of the visceral fat, which is the fat that surrounds the inside of my organs, because I'm learning how to direct my energies and what to put in my system to be able to do that. And that's something that I will share with you in the next video. But I didn't want to take too long tonight. I just wanted to come on and encourage you as we continue to be ready to look at some new things and some new ways of thinking, because this is legitimate. There are way too many people on this and so many results that I'm going to share with you, and they are amazing. And I hope you stick around to do that. And one last bit of advice from Grandpa Gerber here is that I just want you to remember to know your worth. Know your worth, and never settle for a partial version of your full potential. Thank you for hanging out with me, and I'll see you soon.